It's the beginning of the year, you see a lot of clients. What are the common mistakes these practices are making to lose their profitability or leave money on the table? That's the open-ended question. I'm curious where you go with.
Yeah. So let's start with what you had said, profitability. Every practice owner is feeling it in January, February. Deductibles start over. Everybody is like not feeling the cash coming through. Everybody is like not feeling the cash coming through. And for those of us that have employees, we realize that, hey, we're still paying out our employees, but we don't have enough cash coming in. This was happening to pretty much everybody. I think back in the day, there was practices that would hold off their billing for Medicare services, which, how ethical that is, I don't know, but I remember it being done and then just waiting for somebody else to actually bill it and to get reimbursed. It was kind of games that would be played. But once again, you're not getting cash flow. The wise practices throughout the year, they're building their reserves, right? And those reserves are meant for the times that are tough. Whether there's billing issues that happen in New Jersey, there was Horizon Blue Cross and Blue Shield, which is the major gorilla in the room, right? They had some kind of billing issue, and for a couple of weeks, nobody was getting paid. So unless you build reserves that you can actually tap into, you're going to hurt. Or you have an outside line of credit that you can tap into when those times are tough, and then you pay it back
Mhm.
down so you don't
Yeah.
have those cash crunches. There's no, magic pill that you take in January and all of a sudden you're cash rich. You just have to know how the ebbs and flows in practice go. And if you have enough common sense and you have enough, wherewithal, you know that, hey, I need to have those reserves. I need to tap into those reserves in January, February, but
Yeah.
I will catch up later.
Yeah.
It's not like forever. And obviously, this as well because of the way you guys do your software, making sure that you're doing over the counter collections on what is owed, whether that's a percentage of the deductible or your contracted rate, you're collecting it and making sure you're collecting your copays. Because if you're not collecting your copays or percentage of deductible in January, February, it really hurts when you start sending these bills out and patients are not paying it or patients are trying to vie for more time. So that would be one, if I was giving some advice on, how to manage the cash flow issues that happen there. As far as, I have practice owners that are great leaders. And what I mean by that is they're objective in their analysis. When they're dealing with their employees, they're kind souls and they're listening to their employees, but at the same time, they're objective on what they want to achieve. They hold, the results as opposed to the subjective answer that is given. I'll give you an example. A front desk says, yes, 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 I'm collecting, I'm collecting. Well, that's subjective, but the data shows
Yeah.
you're not collecting. What do you trust? You got to look at the data points. There's something wrong there. Do you look at only the data? No, you kind of bring it back to the subjective. Okay, you say you're collecting,
Yeah.
but this is
Yep.
what the
Yep.
data is
Yep.
showing.
Yep.
We need to get on board because you can't be all one way or the other. People don't like you if you're all
Yeah.
data. Your business doesn't like you if you're all subjective.
This financial knowledge is one of those things where it feels so obvious to me because it's kind of like you should probably understand the difference between a balance sheet and a P&L and kind of the timing of cash flows. But I also get that it's an unsexy topic.
Paul, a lot of the owners are
Okay, that's
not
exactly
trained
where I
in
was going to go.
business,
Yes,
right? They're
yes,
they're
right.
great clinicians. They're great clinicians. And then they say they have this great idea that I want to open my own practice for various reasons. I want to do it my way. I want to have my own life. I want to have make
Stick
my
it
own
to the
hours. I want to
man.
do what I want
That's
to
right.
do. Yes, but guess what happens? They become a slave to their business. Before they even realize it, they're a slave to their business. And then they start getting burned out. They're like, why did I do this anyway? My life was so much easier when I worked for somebody else. Now I work for myself and I'm working on Saturdays. I'm working on Sundays. I'm catching up on this. I'm catching up on that. I'm like, yeah, so they don't own a business, right? They're not business owners. They are just slaves to their own business.
If you'd like to learn more about Strata PT and see how our EMR and RCM works, head over to stratapt.com to book a demo.